These boots from Indonesia are easily the best €50 boots that I have tried, to the point where these would comfortably compete with so many boots at that maybe even like pro tier level from Nike and Adidas. These are insane. So this is the Specs Lightspeed Reborn Meta SL. And recently I did a review of these boots, the Ortuseight Catalyst Legion V5, and on TikTok you guys went crazy telling me that I needed to review these. And it turns out you could not have been more right. I'm so impressed. For €50, these are insane. We got to do a big shout out to SB Sports Store. I will put them up on the screen. They're the people that managed to get these out to me. So drop over to their Instagram, drop them a follow. Big thanks from me here at Boot Wizard. But let's talk about the boots. Why they are so good for €50. The first thing we will cover, which I don't normally cover, is going to be the weight. And that's because I mentioned these, the Ortuseight boots, the Catalyst Legion. These came in at 140 grams, which was absolutely insane. The Lightspeed Reborn are heavier than that. They're coming in at around 180 grams, 187, exactly the same size, but that is what you would expect from, for example, a elite level Mercurial, an elite level F50 in my size. So weight wise, still a very lightweight boot. Speaking of my size, we do need to get into that because there's an issue. Okay, so I have these boots in a US 7.5, UK 6.5, and that is an EU 40. There is no Japanese sizing on these particular boots. And why do I have them half a size down from what I would normally buy? Well, it isn't actually because I wanted to buy half a size down. It's because this brand and most other brands like the Ortuseight from this kind of region don't make a US size 8. So my size doesn't exist in this brand. So I went with the half size smaller, which actually in length terms is absolutely perfect. So if you have a regular width or especially a narrower foot, absolutely go down half a size. However, if you have a wide foot like I do, you want to go with your regular size, because honestly, there's just this area here is super tight for me. It's really, really tight. And I am struggling with that. And because of the type of material here, it doesn't stretch out that much. So they are just a bit too tight for me. And I want half a size bigger. Now, doesn't mean I haven't enjoyed using them. Obviously, from my intro, I have. They're a really great boot. But sizing, this one just doesn't work for me. I do have another pair of Specs boots. These ones here, and same issue in terms of having to go down half a size, but these fit me absolutely perfectly. If you want to get that review, do remember, like the video, get subscribed, and of course if you want to support the channel, you can do that by becoming a Boot Wizard member. Links are down in the top pinned comment and description. So let's talk about the standout feature on this boot, which is the upper. It's this woven textile type upper. It's a reasonably large, reasonably loose weave that you can actually see the best through the tongue here in this area where it doesn't have the cage. And it's got texture, and it's really thin, really barefoot without being excessive. It's not like stinging barefoot, but you feel so connected to the ball. There's a very minimal liner. All of your structure, all of the work is coming from this upper. It feels to me a little bit like a slightly more gritty version of what you get on the Crazy Fast Plus. Now, the Crazy Fast Plus has an internal cage and a thinner upper. This is a Slightly more gritty, slightly thicker upper without the internal cage, and a looser weave, but I can definitely feel a comparison between the two in terms of how one might have got to another, if that makes sense. But overall, touch on the ball on this is great. The material is soft, it beds in really, really nicely. I am very, very impressed. One of the other things I love is the design of this tongue. It's a big, wide, floating tongue with a lot of structure. Doesn't slip about too much. Now for me, because I have that wide foot and I am half a size down, I do find that maybe it pokes out a little bit at the sides, at the top, but that's not going to happen if you're getting your regular size and you're not just a little bit unlucky like me. But this upper is phenomenal. Like, for €50, at all points, remember, I'm talking about this boot as a €50 option, which is why I'm so blown away. Yes, it's good generally, but for €50, it's ridiculous. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows with the Lightspeed Reborn Meta SL, which is actually written just in there. There are a couple of areas that feel a little bit cheap. The laces do feel like, again, quite an open weave, which can feel a little bit on the cheap side, although it does match the aesthetic of the boot, I will say that much. The insole is not removable. It's a pretty thick piece of foam. I can probably just, yeah, there we go, that I can unstick. And it's very, very basic. And then on top of that, the outsole itself feels a little bit cheaper. There's very little in the way of responsiveness here. It's pretty flexy. It doesn't give you much in the way of springback, and again, can feel a little on the cheap side. But for €50, kind of, what are we expecting? Like, it's very, very good. While we're talking about the outsole, we should jump into whether you can use this on FG or AG pitches. This is FG only. Look at the length of these studs. The length on these studs is absolutely insane. If you're on any kind of harder pitch, you will get stud pressure. These are like really massive versions of what you get on the Adidas Predator, and there's nothing wrong with it. It provides you with good traction, but you don't want to wear this on an AG pitch. You don't want to wear it on a hard ground pitch. You want a nice, firm or softer pitch to be able to wear this. Overall, it's a good sole plate, it's a good stud pattern, like I say, without too much responsiveness, but it is very, very long. There's two more things that I want to touch on. One is lockdown. The stability here is pretty good. The lockdown is decent. You even get a runner's loop, and it's got a good shaped heel with a decent amount of padding. I have had a little bit of pressure in the heel, but I'm confident that's due to sizing and not due to heel design. So I wouldn't expect to have too many issues there, but it is a very hard, very solid heel counter at the same time. So do bear that in mind. And the final thing I want to mention is actually to do with shape. And it's actually that these boots have a lot of space down in this area here, through around where your arch would be. Now, I'm assuming this is maybe designed for the market that they're aiming for, but it would be a great option if you have a flatter foot. There's a lot of space to push out into there. Now, I don't have a flatter foot, and I do find that there is a good amount of dead space under here. And the reason I think it's a deliberate choice is because the other pair that I have also has exactly the same issue for me, where there's just a lot of kind of excess material or dead space underneath the arch that I just can't fill out. So I do wonder if that is like maybe a regional thing and a specific design choice, although a slightly odd one with this narrower and pinched forefoot like I mentioned. But overall, good adjustability, nice deep lacing system, and for €50, these are excellent. Probably in between an academy and a pro tier boot. That's probably a fair place to put them. And they cost half the price of a Nike Academy or an Adidas League level boot. It's insane. If you want to check out my other review of the Ortuseight Catalyst Legion V5, yes, click that video right there to check that out. These have been impressive.